Welcome back, prisoners, to the Lucky Die. Previously, Ballas secures them a cart for the journey. Rhal passes out again, as Zaltanna proves herself to be a lady, with muscles. Rhal finally goes home to try and find Amy's stash of contraband, whereas his companions go horse shopping. The group meet up at the monastery and join Bogrim in a final night in Falsam drink. With their path before them, what information will they find out when they meet back up with Demi and Kaeden? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die. Okay, you guys arrive at the Witcher Society. Talis is leading her dad through to like the kind of reception area, and you guys it's pretty obvious that there is virtually no one here. The kind of like miserable looking teen on the desk is still there, but it's apparent that he is wearing a lot more amulets than he probably was before. And he looks he looks bored, to be honest. He seems to be unaffected by what the hell is going on here, except that he's wearing these extra things. Talis just like runs off straight to where her classrooms are, and she looks back and is like, bye! And then she like peters off and runs off out of sight for a bit.
Aww.
Kaeden looks back at the rest of you and I didn't manage to quite get hold of Kaethea yesterday, but I'm hoping that she'll help a friend in need. And he looks over at the boy, and he just like looks over back at them and is like, "What?" And Kaeden says, "We're looking for Kaethea and Demi." And he's like, "Yeah, well, Demi's downstairs in her lab, and Fat Kaethea is the chick with her. Down there too." And he gestures to like the one of the doors behind him. Might wanna leave your stuff there. I wouldn't recommend taking it down. And he goes back to flipping through whatever he's looking through.
Why?
What do you mean?
Why should we leave our stuff here?
Well, unless you want it like maybe the boss is on a bit of a war rampage. Things happen around her when she gets like that. Why not so many people we need today? So anything you want to keep in the shape it currently is, or not on fire, probably want to go leave it here. And he goes back to flipping through whatever it is he's reading.
Dragon Beat.
Wow. No.
What is that?
It's a teen magazine where they feature all the hottest wizards.
Oh.
Yeah, but ain't got me in there, have they? And he goes back to looking through Dragon Beat. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Funny. Should be a comedian. Well, he gestures behind to the door and he opens it with Mage Hand. So if you're going down.
I think I'll be keeping my things on me, thank you, and Balance is going to go.
Balance.
Okay. What?
The book. It's important. Fire in the books, you know. Here. You can just leave it here.
I'm not going to leave it here unattended.
Fine, but I will be upset if it catches on fire.
I'll stay towards the back. I don't think she's going to light us on fire.
Not on purpose.
Oh my god. And Zaltanna just walks down.
Kaeden's going to follow straight after you. He's kind of like looking at this strange exchange about talking about books and just like really confused and just see you walk down. He's like, oh, I better go with. Are all of you going down? Is it just Zaltanna going down or?
No, I'm going with.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. You guys follow this staircase down, and as you go down, you become aware that it becomes really, really charged with magic down here. And can I have... I think balance would be the most likely to notice. So take an investigation for me.
Sure. 21.
21. You notice that there are a lot of magic runes down here. You're not familiar with exactly what these magical runes are because Arcana is not really a thing so much. But there are definitely a lot of runes that are inscribed on these walls, on these staircases, and the further down you go, the more overlaid these become. And you finally come down to an iron door that has what looks like a grate in it. And this is where you notice that these magical runes are their most concentrated.
Oh, go ahead, Kaeden. Knock.
He looks at you as if he wasn't going to do that in the first. I'm like, sure, Your Highness. And he gives it a quick knock. You hear the sounds of like movement. You hear a small explosion on the other side. And on that, Kaeden's just going to try and open the door, but it's locked. And you hear him call out to see if anyone is okay. And a few moments later, you hear like a smashing of a terracotta pot. And then you see Kaethea unlock. You hear the door unlock, and you see Kaethea just looking a little bit flustered at the door. Beyond her, you can see that it's essentially a dungeon. You can see... no, I'm going to say it's probably all that you can really see through this kind of tiny slit in the door. Yeah?
Are you all right?
Using message, she sends to Balance in particular. It's like, I've definitely been better.
Do you need some help?
You're
not injured, are you?
No. And you can detect if someone's lying to you? Right?
The other focus I have, when someone's communicating with me via telepathy, I know if they're lying.
But that's the other focus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, that's she just like, I'm fine. And then out loud she says, is there anything we can do for you? And Kaeden goes on to explain that Talus needs somewhere to stay. And Kaethea kind of hesitantly agrees. She seems to be kind of a bit worried about what's going on. And then you guys sort of like, as she kind of agrees and says that she'll take the little tyke off of Kaeden's hands, you guys see like a small fireball just like fly behind it that seems to light up the area momentarily and smash against the wall.
What the fuck was that?
Is Demi okay?
Yeah, Demi's, she looks back and then like walks through the door and pulls it kind of half closed behind her. She's like, Demi's different. She seems really worried. Huh?
Is she by any chance gone like a little bit mad? Because that's what Lindren said. Not that I believe him. I'm just worried because there's fireballs and shit.
She, I think she's definitely a wild magic sorceress of some sort, amongst other things. She seems a little perturbed, but we've been doing research, a lot of research. She recognised that the shield from the things that she saw down in the temple. She said she saw a lot of things. This is probably one of those things that you need to put on the armor stand. There's a shield and a mace and a sword and such. I don't know all the details. She's been very focused.
Are you okay here?
I should be fine. I mean, what's a little fire between friends, right? I'm okay.
Is she helping you?
I am definitely helping her. She needs help.
Okay, well, if you need help while we were gone, you will ask her for help, yes?
Yes, I'm sure that, the come to it, she'll help out. She's just, she saw a lot of things down in that temple that didn't. I think you said you saw a vision in the mirror.
We all did.
Yeah.
I think she saw something that really upset her.
I told her. I, quite frankly, straight up said it's not really.
To be fair, yes.
It's Demi. So I don't know why you think that the one who's like obsessed with studying magic wouldn't look in the mirror.
I mean, I don't want to go look in the mirror, but you've always got to wonder what you see, right?
No.
I didn't mind mine.
I wouldn't recommend it from personal experience, but
Maybe it's not always like terrible, horrible, scary.
I don't know. It seems like we've had 4 people experience it so far, and all 4 of them apparently not so great.
Hi, I'm one of those people. Mine wasn't terrible.
No, yours wasn't that bad?
Nah.
Insight.
Sure.
Reading that aura.
You want to read her aura? Sure.
Non-natural 20.
You can oppose it with deception if you're lying, or you can be straight honest about it.
What if she's lying to herself?
That's a double deception.
Wow. Wow. I think that he would probably read through that bullshit. He'd sense that there is
An inner conflict.
Yeah, you would sense there's an inner conflict for sure. Are you just focusing on her? Are you focusing this on anyone else? I don't really know how your shiz works.
I'm just reading Zaltanna.
Yeah,
Since she seems to be blatantly saying, no, mine was fine.
There's definitely a conflict there. She's definitely hiding something, not necessarily from you directly, but you can see there's a degree of sort of deception there, but it's not maliciously intent. There's no trying to do something. It's just there. Kaethia says, so she said there was an armor stand. Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, we're supposed to use it to resurrect some guy.
Yeah, I got that.
And it was not confirmed or denied to me whether or not there are going to be gross human-y bits in the things we have to put on there. So
Balance face palms.
She runs her hand through her illusionary hair. She seems to have that down pat. It looks like she genuinely is running her hand through her hair. From what I've picked up from Demi, it should be fine. There shouldn't be any gross human-y parts.
Thank God.
Yeah. But the shield, you're going to want to take care.
Why?
It's the reason she needed me is because there are infernal energies in it. As soon as I saw it, as soon as she showed me the item relating to it, she needed to translate a few things, but it's infernal. It translates as knowledge, but there's another thing on it. It warns about best defenses. I mean, I'm only working from secondhand books translated into infernal, and I have to translate it back to common for you guys, but there's a lot of warnings about getting to it. It's pretty dangerous.
Sounds like it should be exciting then.
Oh, so exciting.
Sounds like fun.
Rhal, I know how much of a brave adventurer you are.
Right, well, as long as we stop by the house and do that before we go, then
Right.
I'm fine.
Hang on, let me see if I can get a picture. Hang on. And you see her kind of really quietly back into the room. And you sort of she doesn't exactly close the door, but you hear her rustling around, and you hear movement. You hear Kaethia respond very quietly back to something that Demi must have said, but you can't hear that. And she comes back with a book. and she kind of flicks through, like rummaging through it. She's kind of got the door a little bit more open now. You can see a little bit further in. You can see that there are kind of like books and tables and boards, and you can see various things floating around through magical means. You still can't see Demi at this point. She's off to one side or something. And Kythia is looking through the book, and she turns it around, and she shows you a drawing. She shows you a drawing of a shield. You can see that the center section is made of bronze. You can see that the edge, the wood part, is made of like a dark wood, and it has like various etchings and stuff on it. And it looks like there are kind of runes, which basically they don't make sense to anyone. It's just random pictographs of what writing may or may not be around the edge of this thing. And the engravings themselves are some of dragons, and some of them are look like kind of brave heroes. But it's just an artist's rendition of this. She says, according to this, it should be just a small shield. It should be an arm shield, not a big kite shield, not a big anything. It's just a small round shield. I don't have anything more than that. Demi says she reckons it's probably in dowry, but that's about as far as we got.
Balance wants to study the image closely and try to dedicate it to memory.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to say you can do that.
All right, and then he's going to use his minor illusion to try to create like an illusionary version of it floating above his hand, just to make sure this is what it looks like.
Yeah, let's say you make it like a really small scale, like illusionary version of it. It's a pretty good job. You're working off of an artist rendition. So as close as Dam is to swearing, yeah, you can make a small illusionary version of this.
All right, well, if we need to talk to anybody, then at least I can give a decent representation of what it looks like.
That's smart. Well, I don't know if I can warn you about anything else. Is there anything you want to maybe ask her?
Actually, if you might be able to help me out with something. When we were down in the temple, there were 2 potions that I found. I couldn't identify
potions.
them.
I'm good at those.
I assumed as much. Could you take a look?
Yeah, sure. And she puts her hand out for the potions.
Balance hands them over.
She kind of like takes them, and she kind of like backs into the room a little bit to give herself a little bit more light. And you see her tasting them. You can see her rolling them. You can see her floating them a little bit in the hand as she kind of inspects them a little bit more. And she comes back and says, well, these are really old recipes. This one appears to be some sort of healing potion. I don't know how well I trust it. It's a little beyond its best before date. As she hands one of them over. So you have ? Greater healing potion.
Okay.
And this one's a little more difficult. And she kind of rolls it round again, and you see the fluid kind of like moving in and out. It's like they appear to be the same, but this one's a poison. It's I mean, maybe you could apply it to one of your weapons, but again, best before end. It's some sort of poison. Be really careful with this one. And again, she will hand the potion back over.
All right.
Meta-wise, it's the same stats as a greater healing potion, but it does poison damage. And it's ? Poison damage. These are both beyond their expiry dates, so to speak.
Gotcha.
You are translating things, yes?
Yeah.
You know many languages? Many
I
that
know.
people around here wouldn't know anyways?
Well, I know Infernal, Abyssal, Elven, Dwarven, Common, Undercommon. I know some Celestial.
That's a lot, yes. Balance, show her the book. See if she can make anything from it. Do be careful.
Book?
It means a lot to me.
Balance will pull the book out and show it to her.
She will take the book from you. I can't read this. Demi? And she looks over at Demi, who kind of like stalks across, and she picks up the book. She flips it over.
Rhal is like doing that thing where he's like, oh, careful. Oh, oh.
Oh man, how nervous do I make you? Demi's eyes are kind of glowing off and on purple, and you can see the runes on her body rather than the blue they were before are a very bright, intense purple. And she's just like flipping and turning this thing over. And she looks up at you, Rhal, and she says, "Where did you get this book?"
It was with more of my people when we arrived. It was among the dead. Emma found it.
Be more specific. Where did you find it?
North, Little May, off of the water.
Where exactly is that? Could you point it on a map?
Could I, actually?
Take a history check? Yeah, take a history check. You'd know maybe the rough location for sure, but actually specifically, that would be kind of difficult.
7.
You could probably say it's on the north coast somewhere. The north coast of Discora, somewhere deep within the top north of the dawn. The dusk.
I just know it's on the north side of your land. Well, our land. I don't know much more. It was a small settlement of my kind.
She frowns.
It was 7 years ago. Emma was translating it. She said something about it had something to do with the purpose of our people. I have no idea what it means any further than that.
She kind of like flicks through and she turns it over. It's like, I don't know what language this is. Human, dwarf. It's none of the language that I speak or read. Given enough time, I can communicate with someone who can help me translate. Well, I will have to call in a favor. I should be able to read this, but it will take a little time.
Do you think it's important?
She shrugs, like, no offense, but the importance of your kind is not relevant to me right now. And she hands the book back over. I need to get back on with my job.
Fair enough.
Is there anything else I can do for the rest of you?
No, I think we're good then. We're going to be departing.
Fine. And she turns back to her work, and you see that all the kind of like things she's been writing, the things she's been reading, begin to hover back off the ground. And you see multiple things being written in a variety of different languages. Some things you understand, some things you don't. You see various books floating towards her. She reads through them. She's intently studying once again.
Kaeden, maybe we should leave now.
Kaeden nods. Thank you for your help, Kaethia. And she nods like, anytime. I'll do what I can. Good luck.
Balance is going to say into Kaethia's mind, be careful and stay safe.
She nods like, it's probably the most powerful sorceress standing next to me, and I think I should be fine.
I think that's what most concerns me. She seems unstable.
If it gets too hot, I'll leave.
Good.
You guys see her smile broadly at him. You haven't heard any of this conversation. And she closed the door behind. Yep, she closed the door behind you guys. And you don't really hear anything. Seems to be almost quiet in there now.
God, you big flirt. What'd you say to
Hmm?
You guys are moving up, by the way, as you're saying this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She was smiling. Did you talk into her head?
No, of course not. That would be a violation of personal space.
Right, and you'd never do that.
No, of course not.
Well, if
do not
there's a
question your
standing
king.
arrangement to you know talk to her into her mind. I mean, letting you into her most private defenses. I mean that doesn't mean anything at all, does it?
Not at all. Of course not. Are you backsassing your king?
My king. I'm not an elf or a dwarf.
Oh my
And he
God.
just smiles broadly at you. You're just for
a change of allegiance, is it? Treason!
Put Balance back in jail so that he can't do this anymore.
Do what?
The fucking powerful king bullshit.
I am your king, I will not be restrained.
Oh my God.
You almost yell as you arrive into this kind of empty like entrance hall.
Balance immediately quiets down like, this is what happens when you make me joke around.
Oh,
to blow my cover.
Cover, sure, Your Highness.
No, stop. We're in public now.
Sure.
Zaltanna says into his mind, Right. Of course, Your Majesty.
Oh yeah, that's so fun.
Join my domain, now remember. The mind is my ally.
Kaeden and
Not mine.
you guys enter back into this entrance chamber. You can see that the pile of stuff is off in one corner, and Kaeden has a quick word with the guy who doesn't seem to care, but he seems to note something down eventually. And he looks back at the rest of you and is like, I'm gonna say goodbye to Taylor's.
Could you meet at my place?
Sure. That's not a problem.
Cool. Take your time and meet us there when you are ready.
Okay, sure. And you see him go off into the section where the younger students will be kind of, you know, that they go off and study it too. The three of you heading towards Raljak's house?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'll lead them there and open the door for them and step inside, but we probably wouldn't leave like kind of proximity of the door. You're just kind of standing and watching.
Yeah, that's fine. You guys enter into this apartment. It's not massive. It's a fairly good size. It looks fairly sparse and fairly empty. You notice that there are a couple of like the wardrobe type things and the chest of drawers are piled off to one side. They've clearly been moved. You can see evidence of Raljak having searched through them fairly recently. You can see that there is a large acid burnt hole in the floor. And you can see that kind of in line with that near the entrance that you've just come into, there is a scorch mark on the wall.
Whew.
Ahead of you, you can see there are two windows which seem to be barred and shut. Off to the left-hand side of you, you can see that there is the remains of a kitchen. It's just at the moment a counter and little all else. Yeah, that's probably all you can really see.
Where did the death take place?
Would that have been over on the bed?
Yes, which is no longer there.
Right.
Essentially, it's on the other side of the burn hole, the fairly large burn hole in the ground.
Okay.
Rhal just points.
I see. Well, let me see what I can do. And Balance is going to sit down in front of the burned hole.
Sure.
And he's going to begin meditating.
Sure.
He's going to then try to reach out and locate like the psionic energy left behind, the psionic imprints. Okay. And he's going to attempt to dive into the past of this room.
Sure, okay. Mechanics, you're using the cool thing that I've given you with the third psi point cost, or?
Yes, because the other one would only go back a day.
That is correct. So I just want to double check what you're doing. So strike a third off, and you know your DC. Give it a roll.
Yep. For the love of God, please roll 20. Don't fuck me. Never mind, that's a 14.
Nah.
You essentially focus pretty hard on this scorch mark. There is a psionic imprint there. Something major did happen in the vicinity of this thing, but you just can't reach it.
Balance sits there, trying, lets out a deep sigh, just turns around. Rhal.
Yes.
How much does this mean to you?
Well, I mean, I probably won't live to see, you know.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
It means a lot. But,
good enough. Balance turns back around and he's going to try to go to the other place.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Balance will do a lot for his friends.
Yeah, that's good. You meditate. It takes you some time, as it normally does when you're not forcing your way through. And you go to this dark place with a pool of light. And you step into this pool of light. You sense his presence, but he's not saying anything.
Monarch, I Understand I have a lot to answer for. I betrayed your trust in me with what I did. I hope that you'll understand that it is just my inquisitive nature at heart. I can't help but try to pull everything apart. I did the same thing already and ended up upsetting Zaltanna in the process, as I'm sure you were aware. And I am sorry for bringing up the past. I'm sure it hurt. I can't say that I'm sorry for who I am and how I am. But I need your help. This means a lot to... And I can't believe that I'm saying this. This means a lot to a friend. And as few of those as I have, I will do anything for them. Please.
I know you overruled. I know you did not mean to drag up what you did. But I was apparently also a friend. At least I thought we were. And I asked you not to. Do your friends know that you would betray them as such?
I think they already do. I don't think they trust me as much after I've tried forcing answers out of one of them already. And I am learning to trust people without needing proof, but it's hard.
You forced your way into my memories, and I burnt you for it. You learned nothing from that, and you did the same to that dwarf girl. I can count on one of your hands the amount of people I have ever trusted enough to train the way I have trained with you. I didn't think you would betray me like this. He is your friend, but you will have to earn back my trust for me to teach you anything else. You can do this on your own. In time, I will forget this feeling, even though I understand and forgive you. I just don't want to forgive you yet. So give me my time and my space.
As you wish. And Balance backs out.
Okay. What do you want to do now?
Balance is going to just keep trying. He's going to spend another third and try to do it again.
Roll with advantage. That, ladies and gentlemen, was exactly the same result as it was before. It's a 14, and he needed an 18.
I'm doing it again.
Arch died, you guys.
You're doing it again?
I have the points. I'm doing it again.
Take it with advantage. It's just out of reach. It's just... it's literally out of your reach.
It's literally...
Archie's literally laying in his chair trying to turn it on while I'm trying to click the button to roll, and I'm telling him it is out of reach. This is just the most crazy meta moment ever.
Fuck my life.
That's what you get for being a prick.
So I'm learning. Are you fucking serious? Can I spend the extra 2 goddamn points and do something? No, I
I'll tell you
fucked up. Fuck me.
I'll tell you what.
Roll20 hates me.
You are having the worst luck with Roll20 recently. You keep trying, and you keep trying, and you put the last of your energy into this, and all you really see is you get an impression, you get an idea And you're not sure if it comes from the fact that you are actually managing to reach out and touch a psychic event, or whether it's just your inquisitor instincts kicking over, putting some of the dots together. But the way that this scorch mark is on the floor, the way that the scorch mark is on the wall and where it is, this didn't come from someone who's standing, and this didn't come from someone who would have been, would have thought, at bed height. This is someone who's laying on the floor. And all you just kind of really hear in your head is a scream and a roar. That's all you're going to get. That's me throwing you a bone. You're getting anything at all.
Roll 20 hates me.
Yes, it does.
Valence, after a moment, just stands up and turns around to Rhal and shakes his head slightly. I'm sorry, it's very difficult for me to pull anything up right now. I got a very small amount. It's not much to go on, but it seems to me, based on just a simple deduction, that there was a struggle.
Rhal's nose starts bleeding.
Take a con check.
18.
You slow your heart rate down enough. Little blood trickles from your nose. But you're still upright.
Should I not go into detail? Am I stressing you?
No. Go. No. What is it? Tell me.
I heard screaming and then roaring and
Blood again.
I'm going to say you're riding the 18 for now. I'm forcing you to live through this, sorry.
Okay.
the scorch mark on the wall there seems to line up with somebody who was on the floor, not at bed height.
Okay.
So my best guess is that your Ama was, at least in some way, fighting back.
She would have, yes. Thank you.
Perhaps this trip that we're taking will help all of us to grow as people with what skills we have, and perhaps when we return, I will be better suited to be able to investigate this.
Well, now if I don't make it, at least you know where to return.
Why do you keep saying that?
You're very pessimistic.
I've seen a lot of my kind die.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're gonna die. Like, I mean, eventually you will, because we all die eventually, but it doesn't mean you're gonna die, like, right now.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but you have two people here that can heal, so if you think you're going to be dying easily, you can go right and fuck yourself.
For 5 years, I watched a lot of people die, and I am the only one that I know ever lasted longer than a year or two at most.
Well, then who's to say that streak will change?
Like in the fighting pitch?
It changed a year ago, Balance. It changed a year ago when I lost the one person who was helping me control it.
Now you have two people.
Control what?
We can talk about that on the road, but you guys, while I appreciate you, I am pessimistic because all I know is my kind dying of this very sickness. I spent 5 long years in one room watching it.
You sick?
He's got something. It's not quite a disease. There's something more to it.
Man.
If I didn't just expend all my energy, I would show you, but I'm already worn out and it's not even noon.
Well, oh God. All right. I'm sorry, man.
I appreciate you guys. The positivity does help.
At this point, you hear a knock on the door.
Hey, it's Kaeden. We should probably grab him and go get the horses and shit and head out to Dallery.
Right. Rhal opens the door.
Yep. In fact, there's a Kaeden standing there.
There's a Kaeden, singular Kaeden. They're
Kaeden.
implying multiple.
Singular Kaeden. There are multiple Kaeden. No, there's one Kaeden. You see Kaeden standing there. It's fairly apparent that his eyes are a little bit red. But he's standing there, ready to go. I'm good.
Were you crying?
Dude, that's rude.
Do you need a hug? Group hug?
No. I'm fine. He just kind of steps back and down the step a bit. Like I'm okay. Just
No, come on, Kaeden, bring it in. Bring it in.
Balance. And like Zaltanna stands in front of him. She goes, balance.
What?
I don't know how they raised you at your court, but there's a thing called personal boundaries. Kaeden doesn't want a hug.
Rhal hugs Kaeden.
You guys
take a charisma roll for me.
A charisma roll?
Yeah, straight charisma.
Natural 20, 23. Of all of the important things that I...
No, that is the most
You're
important.
supposed to, right, on behalf of your mum, you're supposed to be hugging Archer's character, not some random NPC. But we'll take it.
Close to
No,
a group hug.
Kaeden matters.
Oh, Kaeden does matter.
Matters to
Only
Rhal.
because our lives are tied to his.
Yes, sure. You go in and you just give Kaeden a hug, and he holds very stiffly in your arms for a moment, and then he just begins to cry, and he hugs you back.
Man.
Yeah, he holds it for a while. Rhal's good at hugs. This is how he survived for 22 years.
Okay. So they've known each other for longest, so this is not against my point, but you've got to learn personal boundary shit. You can't be going in people's minds and trying to probe their shit. And you can't be trying to hug people when they say they don't want hugs.
Are you just going to go give him a hug anyway?
Respect people.
No, Balance actually is going to stop and consider that, considering the discussion he just had with Marnak.
Okay. It takes a moment, and Kaeden sort of like pulls away and turns his back to the rest of you, and he just says, he uses the mind link that you guys have, and he whispers thank you into Rhal's mind, and he just like palms the tears away.
Rhal doesn't really know how to do that.
You do.
Mental talking.
It's instinctive.
I mean,
It'll be instinctive.
It just confuses him.
So essentially, you will instinctively know how this works. You know that if you think it will go to him. So
okay, yeah,
it's just an instinctual thing.
I'm just gonna say out loud. You are going to make it back. Don't worry.
It's just hard. I've not been away from her since she was born. But we have bigger things, and if I don't help you do this, then there'll be no world left for her. So
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Save the world for the children. Yep.
Coincidentally, Kaeden, do you know how to drive a horse cart?
He kind of bites his bottom lip a little bit and looks a little bit uncomfortable. It's like, yeah.
Okay. Because it occurs to me that I got the transportation, but I don't know if any of us know how to drive it.
I just assumed you did because while we were doing the buying and shit, since you wanted to buy the carts instead of just horses.
Yeah.
I have enough experience. I can. It's not a problem.
Wonderful. Well, we have transportation awaiting us at the stables then.
Let us go then. What time is everything? Is it already there or? It's actually coming up to like nearly midday. You're basically almost on time.
It should be prepared then. Yes, as long as it's roughly midday.
Okay. And with that, all of y'all heading there. Is there anything anyone else wants to do or check in with anyone?
Balance is going to pull out of his bag his bedroll.
Right.
And he's just going to hand it to Rhal and be like, here you go, I really don't need it.
What do you mean you don't need it?
I just kind of meditate and everything. I think whoever packed it was trying to be an asshole.
Elves don't sleep.
Right. I don't know who packed all of my things because this definitely was not in my was definitely not part of my original stuff, but I don't need it.
Okay.
What wasn't me?
Well, I would hope not, because quite frankly, Kaeden, I didn't know you before yeah.
Sure. All right. Is there anything anyone else wants to do?
I assume that we, along the way, probably stock up on food, water.
Yeah. Assume you have like assume you guys all have like a good week's rations. It'll be enough to get you to Dowry plus an extra day or 2.
Yay.
Yeah, let's say you have like 9 days worth of rations. Why the hell not? It should take you less than a week to get there by horse, so you have more than enough in theory. As you guys go to leave,
We are stopped by the guards.
you are stopped by a dwarf. You recognise this dwarf. This dwarf is Bogrim.
Aw.
Oh my god.
He's waiting for you at the east gates as you guys come through. He looks like he's been there a while. Looks pretty hungover. He's kind of like got his hands over his eyes, just shielding them from the light. It's moon. It's hot. He doesn't look well. But he's standing there waiting, like by the gates as you guys come through.
You had quite a night.
I don't really remember much, to be totally honest. But Emily says that you went and dealt with Miss Shame.
As you dealt with mine.
Yeah, well.
And he does air quotes on when he says mine.
Nice. Yeah, right, sure. Just thought I'd wish you guys good luck. I'll see what I can do on my end.
Thanks. We don't know what to be expecting, but I hope to see you again when we come back.
Yeah. Anyway, good luck with ending the apocalypse and all. No.
Trying to run our errands.
Yep. Yep, just about on the pickup job, just going to go out and get a corn, etc. I mean, there's no worries, right?
Right.
Good luck. And he pulls Rhal into a hug.
Yeah.
And he lets him go again, and he kind of like waves a little bit at Kaeden, and he looks across to Balance Zaltanna. He seems to be sizing the pair of you up. And he walks over to Zaltanna, and he pulls out an object from his pocket, something he's been obviously holding on to. And it's just a small vial, probably about an inch or 2 high. It's kind of clear, full of some sort of liquid. And he hands it over to Zoltan. He's like, in case ever the big one over there passes out and you haven't got, any other ways to bring him around.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care of it. It's kind of expensive.
Really expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap. But yeah, keep that on you just in case he goes down and you've got no other ways of getting him back up. It should do the trick.
Emergencies only.
Yep. She switches to Dwarvish, and she goes, "Don't worry, I won't let him die."
Appreciate it. Don't want him to die. Can't lose 2 of them.
I know how you feel.
Balance stops and does like a double take. Did anybody else just catch that?
Catch what?
Zaltanna, your voice changes.
Well, yeah, she's speaking Dwarvish. What do you expect? By the way, he's still speaking Dwarvish, so I don't think Rhal understands a word, right?
No, not at all.
No.
Balance switches over to Dwarvish and says, well, yes, but I still sound like me when I'm speaking in Dwarvish.
Yeah, because you're one of these, tough guys, got some sort of plum in his mouth. Everything sounds the same, but the rest of us are a bit different.
Right.
Commoners like. Where'd you pick this one up from, Zaltanna?
Jail.
All right, that goes to explain it, doesn't it? Cop in jail.
Right.
He kind of gives you a bit of a dirty look.
I'm Dwarvish, raised by dwarves. When I speak Dwarvish, I speak it with a Dwarvish accent. You speak it with an Elvish accent.
I mean, not all of us could be raised like you, lad, so some of us have slightly different accents when we speak. Don't worry about it.
If you ever want to work on your Dwarvish accent, I'll help you, but I don't think you'll get it.
I think I'm quite content with how I am, thank you.
And then Zaltanna...
This is just baffling all its own.
Zaltanna switches to Elvish and goes, if you think that's baffling...
Right, I'm out of here. See you later, Rhal. He gives him a...
I'm in agreement.
slap on
We're
the back.
leaving. Zaltanna, if you ever talk to me in Elvish again, swear to God.
All right, so on the way out, Bogrim just gives Rhal just a good smack on the shoulder, and he's like, take care of him, my friend. Make sure you come back to us.
You too, with all the new dangers around here.
No real dangers. I mean, whatever. They can take me in the pit if they think they're good enough. Anyway, catch you later, guys. You take care. And
Later.
He wanders off. You guys make your way, bickering and arguing about languages and accents on the way to... Oh my God, this is so bad.
Arch's face right now is just so great.
Beautiful picture. You guys make your way towards the stables, and you can see pretty much as soon as you've left the gate, to be honest, you can see that there is 2 horses, the kind of like chestnutty one and the dark one with the white spackles on the top. You can see that it's been hitched up to the cart that you managed to procure for everyone yesterday, and you can see the tarp is just exactly as you left it in the cart. It's just thrown in there. But yeah, you make your way there, and the guy says, "All right, well, rest some money up, and then we're good to let you have them."
Right, here's the other 60 gold as promised.
Oh, thank you very much. Now, any of you able to drive this? And you can see Kaeden put his hands up. Oh yeah, of course you would. Where you coming, right? Right. Well, good luck. Take care of Thistle. Watch out for Clack. Bit of a thing on him, but yeah. And he steps back, and you can see he's actually looking a little bit like he's gonna miss at least one of those horses.
Aww.
We will take good care of them.
Promise.
Yeah, you better. Although, if you do come back this way and she's still alive and kicking, I'll be more than happy to take her off your hands.
That's going to cost you 70 gold.
Yeah. Nah, what? After you've worked her? I don't think so. She would have been used goods after you've had her. I mean, that's going to knock down the price a little bit anyway.
That's fair. All right. For you, I'll say 75 gold, and we'll call it even.
How about we discuss this when you get back, pal?
Deal.
And he just essentially watches you guys go as Kaeden climbs to the front of this thing and lets you guys put your stuff in the back. He chucks his own stuff back behind his shoulder. And you and the horses take off. Please don't do that. It sounds gross. Does anyone want to learn how to drive the horses?
No,
Balance wants to learn.
What did Rhal say?
I want to pet them.
Oh,
Is
no.
that Rhal or Neil wants to pet them?
Raw.
Is that Rhal because Neil wants to pet them?
Yeah.
Okay. I only heard like confirmation that someone wants to be useful, so Balance can go up front and learn how to drive the horses. Take a animal handling for me.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy. Disadvantage because you've never done this before. You've never done manual work in your life, so yeah, massively disadvantage.
4.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
They're horses.
Let's go with Kaeden gives you a sidelong glance. He says, but perhaps you want to, leave the manual work, Your Highness, to people more used to it.
Yes, of course, as you were, peasantry and all that.
I also want to try to learn to do the horses.
Have you?
Ew,
I
that's
think
inappropriate.
Oh my God.
That's inappropriate touching.
You're gross.
Back to prison.
Okay.
Back to prison. Bestiality.
Unacceptable.
Wow.
You guys are the worst.
This is hilarious.
2. I got worse. I got worse than Balance.
Yes.
Wow. That wasn't even at disadvantage.
Roll it again, just in case you get a 1.
Roll it again in case you get that one. Do it. It probably won't be, but do it.
Without... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was an 18. No, you have even worse luck with the horses. They just ignore you. I mean, like, the other ones, like, at least gave some sort of reaction to Balance. They just utterly ignore you. And Kaeden just like, looks over at you and is like, perhaps you ought to go join His Highness in the back.
God.
Yes, join me back here. I need someone to give me grapes. Feed me grapes.
Rajak, do you want
Listen,
to
if you're gonna
drive the horses?
Yeah, if everyone's trying, I think that he would.
Balance, if you're gonna keep in, like, pretending like we're your servants, I'm gonna start speaking to you in Elvish.
All right, so let's do Rajak at disadvantage then.
13.
You have a lot more luck than the others. Thistle seems to warm up to you a little bit, but Clack is still a bit like, get the hell away from me. And Kaeden looks over and he gives you a bit of a reassuring nod that, maybe you are a horse trainer in
another life.
I'm not sure that I can exactly stay up here and be kind of, the face of the thing that's traveling into everyone's land. But
No, Rhal, get in the cart. That's specifically why I got this thing.
If you need help, then
I appreciate that. You see, Luke just looks a little bit uncomfortable being up here, but
Balance does want to sit next to Kaeden.
You do? Yeah, go for it. You can sit up in front. He just gonna gives you a look like you're not gonna try and drive the horses again, are you?
No, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit.
Sure. What do you wanna know?
Well, you gave me a brief idea of what's going on with my lineage and everything, but what's actually been going on in my home?
Well, that's. I mean, we didn't have a lot of contact from them, but we've heard things since you've been away. That your brother, for example, being born. There's a few things. The queen of the dwarves, Rowena, had a son. His
Did
name
she?
is yes. His name is Thacket.
Huh.
And she. I mean, the rumor is that she recently made a dwarf only army to 2, which is unsettling, I guess. But yeah, it's also would appear the biggest news recently is that your aunt Glengareth, she made a elven only cabinet, so that there's no dwarves at all in Belagabud now.
What about in Dusk's Plateau? Is there still unity there?
That still appears to be mixed for the most part. That at least what I can tell. Didn't really tend to follow your the well, frankly, I'm not into politics really.
You should. It's quite entertaining.
I will focus on the smaller things like the day-to-day living and raising a child.
Yes, peasantry and all that, what have you, I'm sure.
Perhaps you should get in the back, and he playfully just gives you a back arm. Or I'm sorry. Is this traitor? Oh wait, I'm not a dwarf or an elf, and you just see him smile a little bit.
Up until recently, you were still part of my dominion.
True. But times change. You should get on with it. get over it.
Oh, thank you, Kaeden. I greatly appreciate that. And here, I was hoping that I could reclaim my throne one day and appoint you as the Grand General of my armies. But I mean, I suppose not. If you really don't want to, that's fine. I'll have Rhal do it, right, Rhal?
Do what?
Just say yes, sir.
Yes.
No, yes, sir.
Why?
Don't do it. I would like, because there's only 3 of you. I want all 3 of you to make a perception check for me, please.
Okay. 13.
Oh, I did that at disadvantage accidentally.
Just re-roll it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, if you did it accidentally, just re-roll it.
16.
6.
Okay, Zaltanna, you are just too engrossed in mocking, in watching other people mock the king, inverted commas. It's just too funny for you. Balance, again, you are kind of distracted by, pretty much everyone mocking you and
Having a fun time.
Exactly. But Rhal, you notice that there is, as you are traveling along this pathway, this road that seems to be heading mostly north, you notice that there is movement in the tree lines. You notice that there are some peculiarly bright lights in the tree lines, and they appear to be attached to beings and entities. You would suspect that it probably would be one of the ever-present threats, the Celestials or the demons. Being this is a bright one, this is probably going to be more celestial in nature.
I'm gonna poke my head up front, tap him on the shoulders.
What?
There is something in the trees. Something bright.
Kaeden slows down. And he looks over to where you're pointing, and he too, in fact, all of you can if you are listening to what's going on, you can see these lights moving around in the trees, and you can see them kind of moving rapidly. From some of your trained eyes, you would see that they are clearly engaged in something hypermobile, and they seem to be heading your way.
Fuck.
Kaeden, it's your call. Do we stay or do we leave?
I don't know if we could fight a Celestial. I've never fought a Celestial in my life.
Then we need to move now.
Where?
Keep going forward. Best we can do is hope to outrun it.
With that, you guys go bounding forward along this. You are heading slightly more towards where these lights are rapidly moving and circling around. And as you guys kind of get these, as Kaeden gets these horses into a manic stride. Actually, I'm going to make him roll because this is actually kind of significant. In fact, screw this. One of you roll an animal handling check for me, just a straight D20. Plus
Rhal,
3.
do it.
D20 plus 3.
Well, my bonus is +3. You want me to?
Yeah, then roll for you, yeah. This is going to be Kaeden rolling. I'm not rolling it because I want you guys to feel like you're in charge of Kaeden failing. I mean, securing your escape.
11.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the sound of failure. You see Kaeden kind of like half stand up and sort of like properly like begin to drive these horses forward, and they do break into a sprint, but it looks like Clack is sprinting much faster and pulling much faster than his companion Thistle, and Thistle is beginning to get panicky, and you hear her neighing, and you basically feel her begin to try and veer off in a different direction, and Clack goes with, and you guys become aware that the car is tipping and rolling. Everyone make dexterity saving throws.
I'm so terrible at dexterity.
Hooray, that's an 8.
21.
2.
Better than the dwarf, at least.
I'm built for strength, not speed.
You guys see Rhal, you come up on your feet. Kaeden comes up on his feet, but Balance and Zaltanna, you guys are laying face down in the dirt. Rhal, you look up and you see 3 celestial beings coming towards you.
Hello everyone, Rhal here, voiced by Neil. Quite a bit excited about our road trip. Mostly nervous, but excited, I guess. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much to everyone who has been interacting with us on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at TLDpod, or you can find me specifically at Bardic Martin. A special thanks to everyone who has gone out of their way to make fan art for us. That has been very nice. We love that very much. Speaking of art, thanks to Jason Basil for the amazing logo and art for the show. Special thanks, of course, to the Spark Network for having us aboard. You can find more information about other shows on the network at thespark.network. We have a couple exciting things planned. We have one kind of special episode coming up that we are excited to release. We have a couple ideas for more episodes, bonus content kind of things, that we think are going to be very fun. So keep an eye on our Twitters and keep an eye out at the end of the show for more information on those things. Until then, if you have any questions about the show or comments, you can leave them on iTunes as a review or shoot us an email at theluckydiepodcast@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for listening. We hope you are enjoying the show. We hope to hear from you, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
The Spark Network. Imagine what your idea can do.